The postnuptial agreement, legal insurance for your love. We've all heard the phrase, forgive and forget. But in the world of high-stakes matrimonial law, forgetting can be a dangerous legal oversight. You're standing at the crossroads, your spouse has erred, the trust is shattered, but the love is still there. They've promised to change, they've promised it will never happen again. But as the Dominus Litis, I have to ask you, is a verbal promise enough to protect your peace, your assets, and your children? In 2026, we don't just hope for a better marriage, we engineer it. Today, we are talking about the postnuptial agreement, the conduct contract that serves as the ultimate legal insurance for your reconciliation. In my recent landmark case involving a decade of domestic abuse, my client wanted to give her husband one last chance. As an eminent peace ambassador, I advocate for restoration, and as a lawyer, I demand restoration with protection. A postnuptial agreement is not a divorce plan, it is a staying plan. Unlike a prenup signed before the wedding, the postnup is signed during the marriage, often after a crisis. It acts as a formal conduct contract. We document the terms of the second chance. If he stays faithful, if he remains nonviolent, if he meets his financial obligations, the marriage continues. But if those boundaries are crossed, the sword of justice drops instantly because the consequences are already signed, sealed, and delivered. Why is this a bridge to peace? Because it removes the he said, she said from the equation. We use the law to create a digital and physical audit trail of accountability. Under the Matrimonial Causes Act, we can structure these agreements to cover asset protection, defining what happens to the family home or business if the conduct contract is breached, custody arrangements, pre-agreeing on supervised access if violence reoccurs. The trigger clause, making the agreement a legal insurance policy where a breach automatically triggers a petition for dissolution without a messy 2-year court battle. It turns a fragile truce into a fortified peace. My verdict? Forgiveness is divine, but a postnuptial agreement is professional. In 2026, the Dominus Litis knows that a signature on a conduct contract is more powerful than 1,000 apologies. If your partner is truly ready to change, they should be ready to sign. If they refuse to put their commitment in writing, then their change is just a placeholder for the next crisis. Are you considering a second chance but feeling unprotected? It's time to move from family talk to legal strategy. Have you ever heard of a conduct contract? Or do you think it's too unromantic for a marriage? Let's argue it out in the comments. Follow Rustina Raham Pearls on Facebook for my second chance checklist, and subscribe to Legal Opinions with Clementina on YouTube for the full breakdown. I am Ambassador Clementina E. Ukiri, Esquire, de Dominus Litis. Love deeply, but protect your legacy fiercely. See you in the next one.